was able to read the defense. He was able to call like little small audibles.
His throwing is much improved over the season.
I'm over here in the south side of Chicago, 35th and Damon, doing my veterans tailgate today, baby. This is all about the veterans.
Defensive line's got to get better.
We got a good tight end. That's all you got to do is play to the kid's strength.
Bears, 24-21.
Offense look good.
Glad for everybody to make it. Bear down, and hopefully I'll see everybody next week.
Bear down, people.
Merry Christmas. Welcome to Halas Hall Report. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good.
Right on. We'll talk a little bit about the Philadelphia game on our 7th straight loss of the year. I've been saying it for the past couple weeks. I personally don't see us winning another game. So, but we'll talk a little bit of what your thoughts on was that game. We'll start with Dan first. What'd you think about the Philly game and how they played?
I knew we were going to lose. I mean, it was a close game, but I don't know. Lose, I don't know.
Woody?
Played better than I thought, but, it's Philly. They suck. Fields had another good game, rushing. Highest passer rating against the Eagles team this year of any team. Lost Sanborn for the rest of the year. So, like I said, I think we should just sit everybody and no more injuries. Because, like I said, ACL tear, we're losing that player for another year. So, but yeah, I think we played better than I thought. We had takeaways. Jalen Hurts had 3 interceptions the whole year, and we had 2 last week. So we played better, but still lost.
Samantha, what'd you think?
I mean, I had hoped that we would win. Being in the moment is exciting when you have a lead, but we always blow it. So realistically, I knew it's not going to pull through. But I agree, we need to just sit people now. Like, what are we doing, wasting players by letting them get injured? It's ridiculous.
True. I mean, we've had a lot of people go on the IR. I'm not saying we're 100% tanking, but that's basically what we're going to do. If we win, it's just going to hurt us more than help us. So we might as well get the better draft capital. We're going to have a lot of money, But last week, I thought the defense played fairly well. Yeah, we were the 9-point underdogs, but for being one of the worst teams in the NFL to play one of the top teams in the NFL and only lose by 5 with a lot of key players down, I thought that was good. Like you said, Woody, Hurts, he threw 2 interceptions. You know what I mean? Yeah, he had about 400 yards, a little over total offense last week. And Brown had 181 yards for 20 yards a carry. That's got to slow down. But when our defensive front ain't showing the pressures or getting sacks, it makes it real tough on them defensive backs to hold those receivers.
And even though Brown had over 100 yards last week, I think Jalen Johnson played pretty good against them.
Yeah, well, you've seen a couple of those were beautiful passes by Hurts and great catches. You know what I mean? The defense wasn't bad. He was covering them. They just made good plays.
And that touchdown run, I mean, where the fuck were the people in the middle?
Well, if you rewind that and look
I know.
blitz, and I believe he blitzed to the wrong hole because it left it wide open. Hurts did a great read and made our defense look shitty.
And he just had a lot this year.
Wrong hole. But I believe it was Brisker that did that too. And I mean, he's a rookie. People make mistakes, but he's been playing lights out. For sure. But yeah, Sanborn hitting the IR. Jalen Johnson on the IR now. Man, I don't see him sitting everybody, but I don't want to see somebody like we talked about before get a MCL or ACL tear. You know what I mean? That's going to be a plus year. So that's not just the rest of this year. That's next year. And I don't want to see Fields get hurt. You know what I mean?
All right.
Again.
But he is chasing that record. Do you think he'll? I posted it on my page. Do you think he'll actually beat that record for the rushing? He's sitting third right now.
Man, every game I'm at, they're announcing new records. That he just got this record. He just got this record. But it's kind of sad.
Well, last year I said it. I said for them adding another year to the season, man, that's another whole nother game for stats. So that's really going to break a lot of records all around the NFL in the next 10 years.
Well, if they play him, he's going to break it, of course. But
right, but you know what I'm saying. If a player can stay healthy all year, it's not difficult to break a record as long as you're playing pretty good. You know what I mean? But we're playing the Bills today. The Bills, they're a real good team. They got.
I really wanted to be there for this one. I wanted to see Jared Allen play. I think they might win the Super Bowl.
They win today. They win their division too.
True. But does anybody know the spread on the Buffalo game by chance?
8.5.
Oh, 8.5.
Let me see if they changed it.
So it should be more like 12, 11 because we get 3 at home.
That's still 8.
So how do you think we'll play today against the Bills? The Bills, they got pretty much the same weather as what we get. They play in the snow and, shitty conditions. It's supposed to be a blizzard, but the weather kind of changed. So it's not going to be as snow. It's just going to be real cold.
It's probably windy blowing it around, though. Did they get Soldier Field cleared? They were, begging people to come and shovel.
I'm not 100% positive on that.
We got way more snow here at my house than they did in Chicago. I know that.
We were predicting a lot more, but we didn't really get anything. But for the Bills game here, what do you think the key is to victory if there is a victory?
Running. Got to keep that number one rushing team going. I mean, we're going to have to run. So that's the only way we're going to. And like I said before, Josh Allen, we got to stop him from getting out of the pocket and running. That's where he's most of these quarterbacks slide. He goes for those extra yards and he gets them. So rushing and stopping Josh Allen from getting out of the pocket is a key.
Don't forget about Diggs.
Well, listen, we had A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith last week. So we have Diggs. We have Diggs. Singletary's an all right running back. He's been getting some rushes too, and they got Davis as well. So
Merry Christmas, Rob. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, guys? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Rob. What shirt you wearing today?
Well, this is a Chuck Foreman number 44 hoodie, actually, that has been autographed to me last year for my 44th birthday by Chuck. So it's actually personalized. I very, very rarely wear this because of the autograph on the back of it. But today's our whiteout game up there in Minnesota. So I don't own, I'm superstitious. I don't hardly own anything white. This is like one of 3 things I got. I got this. I got a Culpepper jersey from like 2001. And then I've got an autographed Ed McDaniel that's basically going into a frame that I'm never going to wear. So,
damn, Rob, I thought you were 54. My bad.
Right. I'm 45 now. This is last year. So.
But congratulations on those Vikings. Think they're going to win today?
I think they should. I think the game will be a lot tighter than what it should be, but I think we'll win. I think it'll be by probably 7 or 10. I don't think the Giants are really going to do a lot on offense. They'll get some rushes against us, I think, but yeah.
Well, they start. Go ahead.
No, go. I was just rambling. What's up?
I was just going to say the Giants started out hot. They played at first better than I predicted. Then they just seem to be on this downfall.
Well, it's just like Daniel Jones. He doesn't like last couple of years. He's been turning the ball over.
Yeah.
He hasn't been turning, and he hasn't been tripping on the 10-yard line when he has a wide open run. So
Well, the Packers also need us to win, so if we don't win, it's not going to break my heart. So,
I personally, I think there's only going to be one team in the North going to the playoffs. I don't see the Packers or the Lions making it. I don't see it happening.
well, this game is really going to be interesting because there's a big part of me that still thinks the Vikings' main number one goal is to not get anybody injured, and they don't really give a shit about the rest of these games because they're in the playoffs. They don't care. You know, they know they got a home playoff game. They don't care who's coming to town. I don't think they're going to put a lot of effort, and I think they'll try and win this one, I think. But when it comes to playing Green Bay and Lambeau and playing you all there in Chicago, the last game of the year, I don't know that they're going to be putting a lot of starters out, a lot of effort out. They're not going to overtake the Eagles from the number one seed. If San Fran overtakes us and gets the number 2 seed and we drop to number 3, it's not like the end of the world or anything. It's really not going to make that much difference in the grand scheme of things. And I'm not looking to win out really, because I just don't think the Vikings care.
So Rob, I wanted
honestly, if you look at it, without Hurts might be out 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you actually have an opportunity to take the number 1 spot over.
Yeah, but we would need to win out, and they need to lose out, period, because they own a head-to-head tiebreaker on us from beating us in week 2.
True, but it all depends on Hurts, in my view. Hurts is a big
Yeah.
You're right. And not only that, you got to fight for the 2 spot. You don't want to be the 3. You want at least 1 home game and a bye.
Well, in the 3rd seed, I think if I'm looking at things correct, we still have a home. We're guaranteed a home playoff game because being the North winners.
Right, but you would be on the bye for at the 2 spot.
The 2 doesn't actually get a bye.
Oh, just one team.
Actually, my bad. They did switch that. Sorry.
Yeah, they switch. Yeah, it used to be all the time, yes, and that would be good incentive. And I had to look at that too because I was thinking originally, well, don't we get a bye? And then I got to looking at things like, no, that's part of the change we made with that.
I understand that Hurts is hurt, but Gardner Minshew is not a bad backup.
No.
Which I wish the Eagles would lose the rest of the year and go 0-17 next year. But,
right.
Gardner Minshew is not a bad backup quarterback.
I mean, that you just hate to see good things happen to that fan base, you know. Did you see what they did? It was either last week. I think it was last week. Just absolutely pelting the opposing fans with the snowballs in the stands and the fights and just. I mean, you've heard the Philadelphia fans chant, right?
They threw batteries at Santa Claus. Yes, I know.
Yeah. So the Philadelphia fans chant, no one likes us, no one likes us, no one likes us, we don't care. We're from Philly, effing Philly, no one likes us, we don't care. They'll chant that in the stands, and then they'll act every bit of it too.
Right.
So
that's why I like all Philly teams. Now you know.
Oh, Woody.
Fuckers.
Well, we usually don't do prediction on the Vikings game, but we'll go ahead and go around the room here and get that, and then we'll move on to the Bears predictions and the lead for the standings that we have. But, we'll start with Dan. What do you think the score is going to be on the Vikings-Giants game?
27-17 Vikings.
It's exactly what I picked.
What, same score and everything?
Yep.
Woody?
Well, first of all, last week's game when they had to come back in the second half, which was obviously the biggest comeback ever, how much do they have in their team to go out and blow the Giants away? I think it's going to be closer than what people expect. I say 24-21, and Blair Walsh is going to have the winning field goal.
Well, if you actually go back, Woody, the last 3-4 weeks or so, the Vikings defense has been trash, and I'm pretty sure Rob can agree to it. Last week in the second half, I don't know what the hell happened, if it was Indy or that defense, but they actually turned it around in the second half.
Yeah. I mean, Saquon Barkley is obviously a good running back, but he's not 100% healthy either. I think he averages 86 yards a game rushing, and that's, I guess, his career high or whatever. But he's not 100% healthy.
Right.
So
I think it's fair to say our defense has been trashed since week 2, but the biggest difference, and not to interrupt because you're going around the horn, but the biggest difference is they finally in that second half brought the blitz, and in the game total they blitzed 42% of the time, and that's a season high by about 35%. I'm not kidding. That's why they're able to get the stops.
Samantha, what do you think it's going to be?
I'm going to go 27-24 Vikings.
27-24 Vikings. I see, unfortunately, I think the Vikings are going to win today. I got the score 27-13. I don't see the Giants scoring that much because, like I said earlier, they've been kind of on like the down spiral, and their wide receiver Galladay, ever since leaving Detroit, he has not been the same.
No.
All right,
really.
well, we got kickoff in about 10 minutes for everybody that watches. I'll be only doing the live in one group, and then it's NFL Hard Knocks. That's the only group that I'll be doing any game from here on out. But for the Bears-Buffalo game, we'll start with Rob. What do you think is going to happen in that game?
Well, normally I would say anytime you're in Chicago and it's this kind of weather, you go with the home team, except Buffalo's absolutely used to this kind of stuff. And, you know, Buffalo's just got an amazing roster. I mean, as you guys know from watching our shows and me being a guest on this one, they were my preseason favorites for the AFC and the Super Bowl. They've had some stumbles along the way. They kind of still are. I think they could take Kansas City in a head-to-head matchup. I think they're going to. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. But I think they'll take you guys probably 21-17.
21-17.
I think you guys will play really tough, and I think you guys will put out a lot of good effort because at this point you guys have young players that are trying to make sure they have a spot on that roster next year. Buffalo's a lot like Minnesota. They're trying to get out of there without getting guys injured. So it's going to be closer than what people think. I mean, people, just casual fans are going to look at it and, oh, Buffalo's just going to waste them. No, it'll be pretty close. I'm going to say 21-17. I think Buffalo will still get the W, but anything can happen, you know.
Well, that's what they said last week against Philly. We were the 9 underdogs. We only won 3 games. They only lost 3, but we only lost by 5. You know, I thought, like I said, I thought they played fairly well
points,
for the tools that they had.
Those were garbage points.
All right, Woody, we'll move to you next.
I thought you were going first all year. The rest of the year, Mike.
I was just making sure you were paying attention.
I
personally, well, you already know I'm not. I already said for the rest of the year the Bears aren't winning another game. I'm being realistic. A lot of people going down, like not that good this year. I got Buffalo winning 27-23.
Whew.
Woody, you're next.
Well, like I said, the rushing game is going to be big for us, and we got to keep Josh Allen in the pocket, which I think the rushing game will be there, but I don't think we're going to keep him in the pocket. As I'm seeing, you know how bad the turf is. It's clear as I see. But if like Rob said, if this was not Buffalo's weather, I'd say Bears might win, but they're not. It's going to be 28-13 Buffalo.
2013 Buffalo. Dan?
27-13 Buffalo.
That's my score.
You said 28. I say 27.
Oh, okay.
You don't even remember his own prediction.
all I need is know who's going to win, who's going to lose.
And you don't even smoke. He said. All right, next.
Is that me?
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go Buffalo 24-17.
24-17. You already said yours, right, Rob?
Yep. 21-17. Buffalo.
Gotcha. Anything else anybody would like to say before we log off here? Because I got to jump over and start that Bears
Merry
game.
Christmas, motherfuckers.
Tonight at 8 o'clock is the Mariah Carey Christmas special.
It's already been on.
Mike's going to be streaming it live on the Halas Hall Report.
Oh, cannot wait. I'm sure Bill, the Packer fan, will be right up front and center for that.
I will be right
Make
up.
sure you give my page a like and a share.
I'll be more than up front and center at that show.
You better win today, or I'm gonna be looking for you. I want to hear the song.
I hear Bill's busy talking crap on here now.
Yeah.
So
Yes, Bill. One and done. The Eagles are going to.
Yes, Bill. We know. We've been hearing this all year. So.
But everybody, Merry Christmas. Go fuck yourselves. And I'm in jail, so hopefully I get out soon.
All right.
I know how that is. Appreciate for everybody logging on. Hopefully we'll see everybody next week on next year on New Year's Day.
All
Have
right.
a good one, guys.
He was able to read the defense. He was able to call like little small audibles.
His throwing is much improved over the season.
I'm over here in the south side of Chicago, 35th and Damon, doing my veterans tailgate today, baby. This is all about the veterans.
Defensive line's got to get better.
We got a good tight end. That's all you got to do is play to the kid's strength.
Bears 24-21.
Offense look good.
Glad for everybody to make it. Bear down.